Hi friends, welcome to Win Chess. To start with, I wish you all good fortune. In this video, we discuss everything about a special move in chess called en passant. I have seen many players even playing in rating tournaments without knowing this rule. I don't know why this rule is sidelined a bit for beginners. They know how to checkmate, castling and even pawn promotion, which is also a special move. But without en passant, it's very unfortunate. So just watch, learn and draw together. En passant. En passant is one of the three special moves in chess. The other two are castling and pawn promotion. Why they are called special moves? It is nothing but these moves break all the basic chess principles defined for the movement of chess pieces. Okay, let's start. By three W's, namely what, when and why, we are going to learn about en passant. First, we will discuss what is en passant. Look at this position. Here white is left with a king and a pawn, and so is the case for black too. It's black turn to move, and now the black pawn moves two squares, which is a basic chess principle that a pawn standing on its initial or starting square may opt to move one or two squares. Okay, it's white's turn to move, and just watch the reply from white. Little bit confused? It's not an issue. The following points will clarify everything about en passant. En passant. Number 1. It is a unique pawn capturing rule. En passant is a French expression which means in passing. Number 2. It involves a pawn each from both sides. Number 3. The pawn must be on the adjacent file. Number 4. The capturing pawn must be on the 5th rank, and the pawn to be captured is in their initial or starting rank. Okay, everything is now set. Let's see when to en pass. If a pawn moves two squares from its initial position, and there stands an opponent pawn on an adjacent file on the 5th rank, and now the opponent has the right to capture the moved pawn as if it moved only one square. That's it. Job done. That's en passant. Okay, but there are few things to clarify now. Just watch. The en passant must be performed on the turn immediately after the pawn being captured moves. If the player does not perform an en passant on that turn, it will not be available in the next turn. Let's see with an example. Position 1. Here the white replied immediately and en passant is allowed here. Now position 2. Here white is trying to en pass on the next move, but not on the immediate move, so it's not allowed. Let's see a fresh new position. Suppose if we consider a pawn standing on its 6th rank, and the opponent pawn on adjacent file is moving two squares from its initial position. Can we en pass here? No, not at all. The en passing or capturing pawn must be on the 5th rank. Just remember that. Okay. Finally, now we see why this rule does exist in chess. En passant. Nowadays, most classical chess games are completed within 4 or 5 hours with the use of digital clocks. But it goes without saying that there are rapid, blitz and even bullet games where the game can be completed within an hour or minutes. But in olden days, to say a few centuries back, the games were played without any time controls, and so they have lasted even for a day or two. So to speed up the game and also to make it interesting, they have made some new chess rules. One among them is that we can move the pawn two squares from its initial square. Before that it was only one. This new pawn rule had resulted in a disadvantage for a player whose pawn has made it to the 5th rank for a fight. The player has felt that he was cheated by the opponent as it runs to the adjacent files without a fight by moving two squares. So then comes the new rule, the en passant. That's it. So now you know what is en passant. Well done. If you are impressed with this video, just hit the like and share it with your friends. My friends, sharing is everything. Sharing is nature's way. So don't forget to share and subscribe as well. Thank you.